All right, guys, we have a kind of an interesting topic that we want to discuss today. That's we never hear anybody discuss this, and it's probably one of the most. I think it's something that a lot of hunters, especially guys,
Yeah, we've all gone through it at one time or another.
Yeah,
Or
well,
even sometimes even every year.
yeah,
You know.
and it's something that it's going to really dictate whether you're going to have a really fun and successful season. It'll dictate how much time you get to spend in the woods, and it's dealing with our significant others during the hunting season when when you're obsessed with getting out in the woods and hunting during November. How many of you guys, especially, have had to deal with your wives getting frustrated that you're not taking care of things around the house, and because you've got a one-track mind. All you're thinking about is getting in the woods hunting. And Scotty and I have been hunting for 40 years. I've been with my wife since we were 16 years old, and I deal with it every year. Every year we have to deal with this.
Yeah, and he's not alone. He ain't alone. I mean, I've been with my wife for 27 years, and same thing. It's we get sidetracked. We're all excited, especially when now this time of year the pictures are coming in, and you're like, oh my God, I got this nice buck here, I got that buck there, and you're a month away from season, and you start scrambling, man, and you just. I'll get to that, honey. I'll get to it, and you never do. And I listen. I've had my share of heated arguments, let's say, and it's something we all run into. We definitely do. You'll hear it on even a lot of the your outdoor shows. I mean, the first thing these guys do when they knock down a big buck, what's the first thing you hear is, I want to thank my wife. If it wasn't for my wife, allows me all this time to go hunting and this and that. And that guy has his problems as well, man. It's not all roses and sunshine, man. It's we all go through it from time to time. It's but the one thing that Joe and I don't want to say that we figured it out, but I'm sure you all have, is that we just. I kind of like, that honey-do list, and I'll start picking away at it. And so the closer I get towards season, I want to have the majority of those things done, the front porch stain, the friggin', and as soon as season ended last year, my wife was constantly after me, man. I want this downstairs painted. I want, new colors in the kitchen, the living room. I've been looking at the same color for the last 10 years, and so I knocked it out right in January. I started on it, and I said, it was a big project. The whole downstairs of the house needed to be painted. So I said, let me get this done. Let me get this out of the way, because I know when I start rolling around towards September, I'm going to be like, oh crap, I don't have enough time, and then I'm not going to do it, and then it's just going to cause friction. And so.
I tell my wife when she's got a list of things for me to do, you don't have to remind me every 6 months. I'll get it done. Right. You know what I mean? But one of the things that a little tip for any of you guys that are out there struggling with this, you know what? All they're looking for is your attention, right? Yeah, so exactly. Now's the time to start thinking about those things that you want to get done before the season.
Yep.
And maybe try to bring some roses, do some things that kind of lead up to it, where when hunting season comes, you're in a really good standing.
You're looking good.
You're looking good. You don't have to deal with it.
My honeymoon's on the 22nd of September, so I'm always like, that's like kind of the last hurrah for me. Do something really nice, special, and then it's just like, all right, I'm on easy street.
Yeah.
I hope.
We were laughing too, because like, how many of you guys, you want to go and buy some new hunting equipment, right? And it's like, she's not gonna like this. Maybe, hey,
it's Christmas.
How many of you, by a show of hands, send your new hunting equipment and everything to a friend's house so that she doesn't see it.
Hope she don't see this video.
When did you get that? I always had that. I've had that for a long
I've always had 2 bows. It was a special. Buy one, get the other at half price, you know.
I think it's something most guys deal with, you know, because we're guys are like tunnel vision. Yeah. I know myself. I'm when I'm onto something, it's like I'm focused on it, and everything else around me suffers. Everything else is on the back burner. My wife is like, I can't wait for the season to be over so that I don't. She's got like an absentee husband during the hunting season, and now she's like, she goes, it used to be during the season. Now it's all year. Because we're out there all the time.
Yeah. We've gotten our obsession has gotten somewhat worse.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think I touched on this before in another video too. That as far as our family and stuff like that, like our kids are grown. Yeah. And it's gotten a lot easier. I mean, I can remember days. I'm literally on the stand and I'm waiting on this buck to come through this gut. So I can get a shot. My phone's ringing, it's on silent mode, but it's going off, it's buzzing, it's, and I'm, oh my God, finally, and when are you coming home? You said you were watching the baby, and I'm like, come on, you told me you were watching it, yeah, I've been in the woods sometimes and just said, this ain't even worth it, I'm out of here, if you can't concentrate on what you're doing, right? So
yeah, you can't even enjoy yourself.
Nah,
and she's mad at you.
Right.
She's mad at you.
Yeah. So.
And then you've got guys who are just, unless you're fortunate enough to, because I think it's more of a problem, typically, hunting is very popular, among guys more so. There's a lot of women getting into it too, and that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
I
Yeah, any of you guys out there, you have your wife's
thank your lucky stars.
Your wife's your hunting partner. You hit lotto.
Yeah, like Lee Lakoski, that guy just pretty much died and went to heaven.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. And she ain't bad to look at either.
I know. So I mean, it's if you're fortunate enough to have somebody that loves it as much as you,
my wife loves the outdoors. She doesn't hunt, and she told me before. She was like, I don't mind going with you. She was like, I'll sit in a blind with you. I'll film you. Whatever. But she loves venison. She loves fish. Anything we do outdoors. When we make we make all the provisions and stuff to for the venison and this and that and everything else. And, she loves the eating clean, good, wild.
Doesn't get any more organic than venison.
Exactly right. So and my kids do too. But they just they choose. It's not their thing.
Yeah, and most. It doesn't seem to be nearly as popular because we're let's face it, we all still have a little bit of caveman still in us, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's something that I think it's a topic that I've never heard anybody discuss it, and it's a serious thing because
it really is.
I think there's a lot of people who get into really big blowouts, when November comes around because they're just. I mean, I know I've been there.
A buddy of mine, he does a lot of buy and sell on eBay and online and stuff like that, and he was telling me that just over the summer, this woman called, they were talking on the phone, and she said, oh yeah, come on over, and I got this, I got that. He gets over there, and the garage was full of her ex's cell cameras.
Scouting
cameras, yeah, all kinds of stuff, hunting stuff, fishing stuff. I mean, this guy had so much fishing stuff. I mean, unbelievable.
And she was selling it all.
She was selling it all, man. And and my buddy, he hit pay dirt on that one, man. It was just like, it's like he walked into friggin' Cabela's and just cleaned out aisles, man. I was like, oh my God. Unreal. You definitely don't want to be on the end of that.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Nah.
But yeah, it's a difficult thing to navigate, and I think a lot of us deal with it. But like I said, we're a little bit older now. We're in our 50s. We've both been married a long time, and we've dealt with it for a long time. And the way I deal with it is, my wife's asking for is, paying attention to the things that are my responsibilities and keeping up my, keeping up my end of the bargain.
Right,
And
exactly.
you got
it's a partnership,
Yeah, so you got to kind of like look at yourself and say, okay, what things can I do here to make this better, and try and earn my vacation where I can be left alone and focus on it, and everything's good.
Yeah. That and the fact too that they've become, I think at some point they become so used to it that now it's just like, yeah, whatever, get out of here.
Funny thing, my wife is she's really into like knit and crochet, and she does craft fairs and stuff like that. Every single year on November 10th, there's this huge craft fair that it's important to her. And for her, that's opening day of the hunting season for her,
Yes.
But I'm like,
Yep.
and she always wants my help
And it's
setting
on the
up
best day.
on that day, and I'm like, there's 365 days of the year. Can't you do a craft fair in the summertime?
No.
Or,
November
it's got
10th.
November 10th.
And at the same time, his phone's blowing up. This giant buck's going by his stand, and he ain't there.
And I'm like, why God, please, why?
Why November 10th?
And it's we've gotten to a point where we worked it out where she needs help setting up, so I go the night before, when it's dark out after I got out of the woods, and I go and I help her set everything up, and this way, you got to find a way to make it work.
That's it.
And it's family first, but you know what, we're just regular guys. We're kind of blue collar guys. Scott's a tree guy. I work for the railroad, and we work hard all year, and this is all we've got. You know what I mean? I mean, aside from our families, this is, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just out there. This is our passion. We love doing it, and I think there's a lot. You guys all feel the same way.
Absolutely, man. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We all walk that common ground.
And it's funny
if you love this sport like we do, and you have a significant other, it just kind of goes hand in hand. That sooner or later they clash, and then you're always butting heads one way or the other. But
I don't know how many guys I've talked to that
oh man,
they all had to go through it. Not all of them.
I remember
Some
this.
people
I remember this one guy's I'd go over the house and he'd be like, "Don't ever talk hunting. Don't talk hunting. Don't talk prices. Don't ever say what price with anything worth."
Yeah.
Oh man, he'd bring something up and he'd be looking at you like,
Hey, how much did you pay?
"Got it at a tag sale."
Well, anyway, we just thought that was an interesting thing that I think we all got to deal with. So we want to kind of discuss it a little bit. Scotty and I today we're going to be going out. We got a couple of stands we're going to set.
Yep.
We've got a couple of cell scouting cameras that we got to do a firmware update.
Yeah, got to do firmware update on them and stuff, get them up and ready. A few more. It's like it never ends. We always think we've been doing this since postseason.
Yeah, we've just been at
hanging
every
stands in
weekend.
April and May and putting cameras in, and just when you think we're done, it's just like oh man, just got another spot. Man, I got a good buck in there. Now I got to get the camera in there.
And then we get a little extra money. Like I had a little bit of extra money, so I went out and picked up a couple of cell scouting cameras. So I want to get them out.
Right.
Right. It's just there's always something.
Always,
But-
never ends. That's why you say it's year round, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. But that's the fun of it. It's something. The preparation. I don't know. To me, that's what makes it fun. I love this. Like right now, it's Saturday morning. We got up early. I worked till midnight last night. I got up at 6. It's around 7 o'clock right now. Scotty came over.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out there, hang a couple of. We got a couple of stands. We're gonna.
This is the fun, because listen, when it all comes down to crunch time, really, it's, that's probably 5% of it. 95% of it is doing all your homework, all the postseason scouting, the preseason scouting, hanging cameras, stands.
And really, you know
trimming,
what? You're the amount of success that you're gonna have it's I saw a great quote. I think it was on a Barry Lunzel video, and I even posted it on our Facebook page because I thought it was a great quote. It's something like the amount of success that you'll have in any endeavor is proportional to the amount of work you put into it.
Yeah,
And you know what? We love this stuff, man. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's not work. It's work. You know, like
It
we're
is.
climbing trees and we're actually getting,
Yeah.
climbing mountains, and it can be physical, but I love it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it.
And the flip side of it is like, in past years when we were very busy and we couldn't do it like we've done. I mean, we've really picked it up this year. We've done probably the most work we've ever done this year.
Yeah.
But in years past where we, don't have enough time and this and that, and the success rates were down.
Yeah.
Or we just settled on a non-target animal, or
Yeah.
just some years I didn't even, I didn't see any bucks that I even wanted to shoot. So I shot a couple of those for meat, and that's all fine and good. But definitely you can get lucky. The biggest buck of your life can walk by you, But when you put the work in, and then you kill that target animal.
You made your own luck.
Oh yeah, you made your own luck.
Yeah. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
That success is sweeter than anything, man.
Yeah. This year we've like I said, we've never worked harder, and I tell you, I can't wait. I can't wait for it to get here.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is too that I can't wait, but I can, because it's like, the season will open up, October
you
1st,
anticipate it for
and
so
I'm
long.
I'm not going to run right out there, and unless I have a spot where I can really pattern a deer with some early
Right.
season activity. There are some places I'll go.
Yeah, we're gonna hit a few early season spots.
But I don't
in
like to get
October.
burnt out
Right, but we
early.
won't go near any of our good spots,
Yeah.
because we know just in past years, and stuff, some of these bombers, man, they don't walk through our, on our spots
Till late.
until later in the season.
Yeah.
Just they've consistently shown up by this, second to third week of November, and then even all over December as well too.
We won't really start. I mean, our vacations are the second and third week of November.
Yes.
So I mean, that first week of November is always hot too. But
Right.
I've killed some pretty nice deer, even like late October,
Yep.
on Halloween.
Yeah.
That
October 30th, I've killed a nice 8 years ago.
you could definitely get into, November's just magical, but in my experience, the very biggest, the oldest deer are on their feet in daylight, November 7th and after, I mean, obviously.
Especially after like they're done breeding that first doe, and then
Now they're searching for
catch
another.
'em. Yeah, if you can catch them, you get the big boys on their feet.
Yeah.
And something about that, and even right around Thanksgiving too, man. It's just I've always seen giants that week.
We had one time. It was about the 12th or 13th, I think, and we were hunting in the morning, and we had gotten out of a spot, and we were on our way to another spot, and this happened many years ago. And Scott says, "I want to check out this spot. We're gonna let's pull into this spot and check. There's this tight funnel.
Yep.
I just want to run down there real quick."
And Joe's like, bring the bow, and I was like, no. I said, we're not gonna hunt. I said, I just had this gut feeling. I passed this spot for year after year, and I would always look, and I was like, I gotta get in there. I gotta check that out. So that morning or whatever, midday, we get in there, and he's just like, oh, should I bring the bow? No. We're just gonna run in, and we're gonna get back out. I just want to kind of confirm my suspicions. So on the way in, we actually bumped a little peanut. She jumped up and took off running, and meandering our way down into this bottom, and it's just a peninsula on a swamp, and it's always had lots of sign on it. So we're walking down into that thing. We get to probably the last 30 to 40 yards to where I want to check, and all of a sudden I just stopped, man. I locked up, and I'm telling Joe, don't move. And I'm like, he's shorter than me, so I'm like, look underneath my arm. I said, look 25 yards in front of us, and this thing was a tank.
This
I
was.
mean, this thing had a
he was
55-gallon
that wide.
drum for a body.
His rack
You
was
know,
that
big
wide.
wide hoop. You know, he didn't have. He was definitely.
Yeah, he didn't have a
I'd
lot of
say he
time
was
left.
probably on his downsize.
But he
You
was
know,
just
he had
giant.
short tines, but just heavy beams, heavy mass. You know, he's probably every
He was
bit
well
5,
over
6, 7
He was
years
well
old.
over 200 pounds.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
he was a stud.
Yeah.
And he was walking right towards us,
Yeah,
angling
and we were
towards us.
we
and we're-
just nose to nose at 25 yards like this.
and we just froze. We froze.
He looked at us like, oh shit, you know. We looked at him, and it was like, all right, you know. We were just stood there for the longest. It felt like the longest time. It was probably maybe 20 or 30 seconds, and you know, he didn't blow at it. He kind of just, you know, figured it out. All right, this isn't cool, and you know, kind of like slowly backed around.
If we had a bow, we'd
if
have
he had
had
a
a
bow, yeah, definitely. Because when he started to do his turn, Joe had to come back to full draw.
He had enough. We had enough time
Yeah.
where we could have shot.
And then he just trotted back into the swamp, and you know.
Lesson learned: don't ever go in.
Don't ever go in
During the
without
hunting
a bow.
season.
Oh my God.
Don't go in the woods without your bow.
Yeah, that was something.
Good times, man.
And I never saw him again either.
No.
Went back there, you know. And after that, I was, you know, got to stand here, stand over there, stand over there.
It's not like we didn't try to hunt him.
No, I put some time in there, man. Never seen him again.
Yeah, we get, like right now we made that video the other day with that new Link Micro. Pretty excited about those because
Yeah.
we put them out. They're working really well, man. I put one out on Wednesday. It was going to rain in the supposed to rain in the afternoon, so I went out in the morning. I figured it'd be perfect time. I can sneak in there, put it into my set because we have a very conservative approach to some of the areas that we hunt. Don't like to go in there at all.
No.
And I wanted to get the camera in there, and you know, my idea is get the camera in there, and I can have it's going to be sending me intel.
Yep.
Right on until right on in through November.
Right.
And I'm not going back until. I'm not going to be back in that spot until November,
Until
unless I see some. You know, if it's telling me
Well,
if I
that's
get a
the
good cold front or something in October, and I'm seeing that
showing
buck
up.
moving through there in daylight.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta hunt on that most recent information.
Yeah. So we put it out there, and it's working really good. You
Yeah.
know, so far. I mean, we've only had these cameras for a month, and so far they're good. Hopefully, they stand the test of time. But I'm really.
Yeah, for inexpensive.
For the amount of money we're spending
cell
on it.
camera, you can't beat it. And it takes a nice picture.
Yeah.
And like what he was talking about, you know, he went in there. It was had a good plan. Get in there, you know, switch the camera out, and you know, hang it, get out, and they were calling for like an inch of rain that day.
Yeah.
And man, it come
It
down.
did. We got every bit of an inch of rain.
rained. And the good thing is it got a nice picture yesterday.
Yeah.
At 2:00, this
Yeah.
bruiser.
Yeah, nice buck came walking right
Bruiser,
underneath
man.
it.
Freaking big old cow head nose on it.
There's a deer right there. Look, there's a deer behind. In my yard, I'm looking through the window. There's a deer walking through my yard as we speak. That must be a good sign.
Yeah. But yeah, it worked. You know, like I said, we always err on the side of caution. You know, and trying to be as conservative as possible going into these spots. We don't like to go in a lot. You know, preseason.
Yeah, you don't want the deer to know you're hunting.
No, the rain washed all his scent out of there, and like I said, the next day at 2:00 in the afternoon,
He was right there.
big friggin' swamp donkeys walking right past the camp.
Yeah, that he looked like he had a really big body on him.
Yeah, he's huge.
And that my goal this year, I'm not, obviously, I'd love to have some wall candy, but my goal this year, I have a bad habit. I like to hunt and shoot deer, and when I'm in my tree stand, if I see a 3-year-old buck come by, it's like if it's a good shot and he gives me a good shot, I just, I like shooting deer. And
his nickname, they call him Joey D. His nickname we gave him when he was what? 16?
Yeah, when I was a teenager, it was
Doughy D.
Doughy D. I took care of the doe population in
Yes,
Westchester.
Absolutely.
But you know what? That's what it's about, is having fun. But
Yep.
I'm trying to. I've killed a lot of nice bucks over the years too, but it's time
Well,
to.
you know what it was too is also the fact that you were always crunched for time.
Yeah.
Years ago. Right. When you started the railroad, you had no time to
Right.
hunt at all. And, and I gave him some decent, I had a piece of property across the street from where he hunts, and I had a bomber on it. And ended up, actually he found it going to work one night. It got hit by a car. Beautiful buck. But there was two more that were running with him, and he slipped into his spot on a day and actually shot the thing just as it was starting to get dark.
Yep.
You know, the second one that came by
Yep.
went right under him, put a killing shot on. I think it went 60 yards and dumped. You know?
Yeah.
But you know, when you're crunched for time, I mean, you know, you kind of take the first good buck that you see.
Yeah, you know what it is too. Like with us, I mean, we get opportunities every year, but the amount of time we had, you know, in the past for hunting, and the amount of opportunities you get, it's like, you know, you got a nice buck standing under you with the bow. You know, for me, it's like, you know, I might not have another shot at a nice buck this year, so a lot of times I would take it. But now I've killed enough deer in my life. I don't need to kill a deer, but my goal this year is to hold out for a really mature animal, and I'm not even so concerned. You know what? The coolest thing, you know, if I shot a 5, 6, 7-year-old buck, I don't really care how big his rack is. I just want to get.
I'll tell you what, that one that was on a camera yesterday. That's
the oldest thing, the oldest deer I can shoot. Really, that's what I'm going to try and do this year. So
you target an old, like you said, 5, 6-year-old buck, and you're doing something.
Yeah. So that's it. We're going to get out there right now. Go hang some cameras. You know, prepare a couple of more spots. Same spot where Scotty shot a really nice 130-inch 10 last year. But there's a bigger buck that he was hunting last year, and he saw him last year, and he's still alive. So hopefully we'll have.
Hopefully this year proves. And
Yeah,
I tell you,
and
we were talking in past videos too on that. You know, the way big bucks have a knack for showing up on the same day, you know, at the same time. And this buck's done it twice to me already. So if he does it again this year, hopefully. And last year he only came in. First year he went right directly under my stand. Second year, last year, probably 60 yards was the closest he got.
And now with the saddles, saddle hunting, we get even
now
a little bit more.
I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. So
yeah. So
if he comes by me, you know, there's this one pinch he comes through all the time before he gets to me, and you know, and they kind of confirmed it last year. I'm like, that's where I need to be.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes that's it, and you learn it.
Yep.
And
it's like a new property. And the last year was the second year, and it just kind of slapped me in the face after that hunt. I was like, that's where I need to be.
Yeah. That spot that Wilkie.
Yes.
You know, I got a spot that I've been hunting this spot for 25 years, and the first 5 years took me to figure out the spot, to really
Fine tune it.
And I've been in this same tree for 20 years, and
This sucker produces.
that tree, we've filmed deer, shooting deer out of that together. Every single year I've killed a buck out of that tree, and it's the right tree, you know.
Yeah.
And now that's what you're doing in this spot. He's got a really great spot. It's got a lot. It's very thick. It's not a lot of hunting pressure. It's real hard. You know, that's why these bucks grow to that age there, because it's an area where it gets quite a bit of pressure, but the specific area it's so thick. It's very, very difficult for somebody to get in there hunting. So I think a lot of people, they avoid it, but the deer are there. And
I actually go in with a pair. I got hand snips, and I go in and I cut the friggin' multi-floor rows out of there, and just get so I could slip right in.
Last year he couldn't even recover his buck right away because we had a really bad rainstorm.
That's right.
And it was so difficult to go through.
It rained so much it actually turned the place into a lake. And the deer I killed, and I knew I hit him good. I could, from the way he was running away, I could tell it was his death run. But still, I kind of erred on the side of being cautious. Like I don't want to. I'm pretty sure I killed him, but I don't want to go in there and jump him because it's just a thick, nasty jungle. And so I backed out, and the next day it poured, and it just kept pouring.
It was horrible.
It poured for the next month, and the deer actually he was underwater, and it was a lake. Couldn't get to it because it was just prickers, 10 feet tall, and just a nasty tangles, and now you got 12 feet of water on top of that.
Yeah. It was a shame,
And,
really.
yeah, it was. You know,
But,
I mean, nothing, and it killed me. That was actually it took the wind out of my sails because
Yeah,
after
you were-
that
you were
day,
depressed for that
I had
last
a
week.
lot of good bucks elsewhere, and I was just I was so friggin' beat up over that I just no, I don't even have to taste the hunt, man. I said, you know, I got to get back in there. I went there 2-3 times a week, man. Like, was the water going down? You know, and the water just kept coming up, man. You know, and then finally after gun season was over, I slipped in there and friggin' man, it was a month. It was actually a month afterwards, and you know, ended up recovering them.
Yeah. So it did have he did have a happy ending, but it was difficult to.
Yeah.
We had to wait. But anyway, we don't want to make this video go too long.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get out there, do what we got to do today. Hope you guys like the stuff that we discussed with you. If you do, we really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. We'll try to keep bringing you some interesting stuff.
Definitely, and keep asking the questions, guys, because you know, like I said, we try our best to get right back to you as soon as possible and get them answered. You know, even if we can't get a video made for you, if you know, a lot of times we'll drop a link, you know, for exactly what you're asking for, send it to you, you know, from some other video that was made, you know, that explains it very well. So yeah, definitely. Again, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and look for us on Facebook. We're New York Saddle Hunter. New York Saddle Hunter. So just look us up on Facebook and like us there if you want to follow us there as well.
Yep.
All right. Best of luck.
Have a good one, guys.